Chairman of the Indian Schools, Mr. Najib, and other distinguished guests, dear parents, teachers, and my dear students. Very good evening. What an impressive record. Are you all proud of it, our achievement? Great. Teacher, our principal said she searched Google to find out about Dr. Sarmi. Google is the answer for everything. But one thing you should remember, Google cannot replace teachers. Teachers has a great responsibility. That's to mold the students, to nurture them, identify their talents, and support them and instill the highest values in them, human values, and to be a future good citizens, future leaders who will make a change in this changing world. So, Google, no replacement for teachers. As I said, Principal, first of all, I would like to congratulate you and thank you for the wonderful job on behalf of all the parents and students, the wonderful job you are doing. But you cannot rest on your laurels because there is no finish line on this. We are on an endless race. Teaching is that profession that you can do 1 year good and, okay, I rest on my laurels. You cannot do that. So, you have to continuously struggle, continuously excel, and always raise the bar. That is what expected of it. It is important that every one of you have that in your mind. If you are allowed to lose a little bit, if you take some grain in your hand and let one grain loose, the result will be the whole grains you will lose all the grains. So remember, hold tight to whatever you are doing and do better and better in the coming years and raise the bar. I have seen the all-round achievement internationally, nationally, and within the Gulf states. It's a great. This school been a trendsetter for the other Indian schools when it is started up. That role you don't forget. You have to be always a trendsetter for other schools in the Middle East, and you have to continue that. As you have a wider range of exposure, you should always look for what are happening in the rest of the world, in the school education, learning methods, teaching practices, and you should import that and impart to our students, and so that all the schools in Oman can benefit from that. And we have that responsibility. We have taken that responsibility in the past, and we should continue to take that responsibility. And our school, as I said, should be able to attract the best students. All students we should accommodate, should be able to attract the best teachers, and our students should be acceptable to any universities in the world. That's our mission, and we should continue. And as a founder, I commit myself to create any physical and infrastructure facilities to build this institution to greater heights. And I once again thank you very much for all the good work you are doing, and keep it up. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words of encouragement. I now invite Mr. Ahmed Rais, President of the School Management Committee, to share his thoughts on this very special occasion. The head boy and the vice head girl may kindly escort our president to the dais.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, parents, and my dear children. I remember the first day I drove into this property to see where we are going to build the school. I drove on a road which was graded. There was no road at all. There was a wadi in front of it. And I came to this property, and there were huge 2 ditches out here. And I wondered, what can we do here? 25 years later, when I come here, I get excited. Every day when I walk into the school, I get excited because the school has come up so beautifully, and this magnificent institution has given me a lot of pleasure. When I see our children perform well in life, that makes my day. And I thank all the teachers, the management committee, the board of directors, the Indian Embassy, the Ministry of Education, everybody who helped to make this into such a fabulous institution. Your Excellency, 25 years of the school, our journey had a lot of challenges, but it was interesting and exciting. Starting from the first student who was registered in our school, Diamond Anto, we had hundreds of children who passed through the gates of this wonderful institution. They all have made a name for themselves all over the world. Recently, I met some of our alumni in London, and the first school leader, he's a doctor, and I spent some time with them, and I felt like a schoolboy. It was fabulous. When we started the school, as principal was talking about Google, our founder was talking about Google. There were no Google, no terms like Google, no internet, nothing was there. Our school, and we have never heard words like e-commerce or Twitterati or blogs. And when we started the school, we had a few computers out here. We were the school who brought out the smart classes system. We were the first school probably in the Middle East to have the total school with smart classes. And that too a few years back. But the challenges were there, and we overcame that. The next 25 years, what's going to happen? We don't know. We can only guess. But we are sure we will work towards making our children smart, strong, and confident individuals who can take on the challenges of the new world, adapting themselves to the environment. They will deal with success and failure just as graciously, and if needed, will reinvent themselves and move on no matter what. We will teach our children to uphold the values, principles, ethics which have been imbibed in them. We will do all this with one promise, that we will not lose the human touch in whatever we do. The school success doesn't lie with one individual. There is a whole team of people who have worked for it. One of the main person who has given us vision, and there was a dream which he explained to us, and I hope we have reached to at least a few steps of his dream, is our founder. He's never said no to anything the school wanted. He has agreed, he's gone out of the way, and his vision was, his dream was what we've been able to convert into this beautiful, magnificent institution. On behalf of ISG community, can I request all of you to stand up and give a standing ovation to our founder who has made all this happen. Of course, our principal. When I first walked up to, when I called up Madam Papri Ghosh and requested her to take over the principal of the school, she was in a shock. I think today also she's in a shock that I spoke about that. She's done a wonderful job. She has a wonderful set of teachers who's worked very hard to make the school as magnificent as what it is today. Yusuf Nalbala is not just the president of the board of directors. He was the president of our school. So he had a lot of role to play in the school being today what it is. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank the board of directors, Mr. Wilson and his team, who had supported us extremely well in all our endeavors. In the Indian Embassy, of course, I don't have to say anything about Madam Siddiqa and her team. They all been wonderfully supporting us. Thank you very much. And as Martin Luther King has quoted, and we believe that's very strongly, when school flourishes, all flourishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I request our Vice Principal, Mr. G. Sri Kumar, to kindly take over.
Good evening. May I request our chief guest for this evening, His Excellency, Dr. Abdullah bin Muhammad Al-Sami, Under-Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, to kindly present the awards to the members of staff for their long and dedicated service to our school. I request the founder of our school, Dr. P. Muhammad Ali, and President, School Management Committee, Mr. Ahmad Rais, to kindly come on the stage. May I also request our principal, Mrs. Papri Ghosh, to escort them. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 categories of long service awards. We begin with the first category for completing 25 years of meritorious service to the school. Mrs. Pyarija Sita. Mrs. Sakida Iqbal Ahmad. Mrs. Rajalashmi Madhusudanan. Mr. Afzal Khan. Mr. Narasimha. Mr. Khalid KM. The second category comprises members of staff who have completed 20 years of service. Mrs. Shailaja Srikumar. And now I will receive the award, and my name is G. Srikumar. Mr. Abbar Hussain. Mr. V.S. Kannan. Mrs. Badriya Salim Mubarak Al-Hadidi. Unfortunately, she is not here today. Mr. Abdul Kalam. Mr. T.A. Muhammad is also known as Mammootty. Now, members of staff who have completed 15 years of service. Mrs. Malega Ariwala. Mrs. Rita Agarwal. Mrs. Nancy Thomas Lobo. Mrs. Amal Muhammad Khalfat Al-Rakhbi. Unfortunately, she is also not here today. Mr. Dapu Babu. Finally, we have members of staff who have completed 10 years of service in our school. Mrs. Mini Suresh Kumar. Mrs. Lada Saju. Mrs. Sindhu Sunil Kumar. Mr. Amit Paradkar. Mrs. Evie Maria Gulabi. Mrs. Malati Kalyana Sundaram. Mrs. Jayashree Hoskote. Mrs. Sheena Shakir. Mrs. J.C. George, C. George. Mrs. Rajasri Lakshmanan. Mrs. Hiral Amit Kumar Kirti. Ms. Jayakumar P. and Mr. Syed Ahmad Nasser Al-Wahabi. Mr. Syed.
Some of our committee members have retired. They have contributed so much for the school, and whenever the school needs something, they have always been there. There are a few members, which I'll read out the names. Some of them are not here. Mr. Mustafa Behelim, Mr. AVS Hamid, Mr. Arun Kumar Vyas, Mrs. Jayanti Venkatraman, and Mrs. Radha Mukherjee. But we have here today Mr. Adnan Nalwala, who's a cherubic, smart youngster. Where is Adnan? Oh, he left. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think, can I ask Mr. Nalwala to come and take it on his behalf?
May I now request our founder to present a memento to our chief guest as a token of our appreciation. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, children.
Thank you, sir. True to our motto, strive for the best. We now have a video depicting the journey of ISG over the past 25 years. It has been an exciting and thrilling journey of amazing events and remarkable achievements. As we walk down memory lane, we look back with pride at the long distance covered, the obstacles overcome, and the many victories won. This will undoubtedly inspire us to reach greater heights.
When it started, their Indian school system, it was not that matured as it is today. And when ISG started, we came with a very clear mission that it should be the best and we should get the best standards available elsewhere. And that is why we have attracted the good principal and the good teachers. And we did our, one aspect of the job, our purpose is that to a forerunner or a trendsetter to the other schools in the Sultanate. And I am happy that the other schools has followed what we started and they have benefited. So the Indian schools, Indian students in Oman has benefited, and the schools has benefited by benchmarking Galau school. Some areas they may even surpassed us. So it's a good thing that it's always a competition or learning from each other is a good spirit. Whether we have reached the height what we deserve, no, I would say that we should not put a limit where it's an ongoing process and we should continue. What we want to do in future, if you look at it, we should continue to serve as a trendsetter to the schools in Oman. We should be able to attract the best teachers. The teachers should feel proud, and they should feel that they are working in a good institution, a good school. And also what we produce, our product should be acceptable to the world's best universities, and then they should serve as good leaders in India and should participate in the nation building process, thereby contributing the values that we have instilled in our school to the betterment of the society.
We at Indian School Al Gubra believes in striving for the best, which is our motto. We encourage everyone in the Indian School Al Gubra community to work towards the first position, which we consider is vacant at all times. Teachers are the pillar of the school. They have worked very hard, and it is a fabulous sight to see the young child who walks into the school and walks out of the school as confident young intellectual. Our alumni is spread all over the world. They study in the best of universities and they work in the best of companies. They make us very proud. We at Indian School Al Gubra promise to put in the best effort and to strive for our best.
Now I have a very pleasant task to perform, so may I request, please, our President to kindly escort our founder up on stage. Thank you. As has been reiterated, leadership is the capacity to translate